Dear viewers, greetings. This video is about the bacterial cell wall. In this video, we are going to discuss about the gram-positive cell wall, gram-negative cell wall, the difference between the gram-positive and gram-negative cell wall, the cell wall lacking bacteria, mycoplasma, and L forms of the bacteria. The bacterial cell wall is present outside the cell membrane and it acts as a backbone of the cell. And it gives a shape and rigidity to the bacterial cell, and it confers osmotic protection to the bacteria from various toxic substances, and it also gives the gram staining characteristics to the bacteria for differentiating the bacteria as gram positive bacteria and gram negative bacteria. Among the various components in the bacterial cell wall, the major component in the bacterial cell wall is the peptidoglycan. This is the structure of gram-positive bacterial cell wall. This is the cell membrane. Outside the cell membrane, the cell wall is present. Here, the major region of this gram-positive bacterial cell wall is the peptidoglycan. This peptidoglycan is made up of two compounds. One is the NAM, second one is the NAG. These two are the major components of the peptidoglycan. The green colored compound is NAM, that is N-acetylmuramic acid, and the orange colored compound is NAG, that is N-acetyl glucosamine. The both NAM and NAG are joined with the help of beta 1,4-glycosidic linkage, and the NAM and the NAM are joined by the peptides, and the peptides are present here, and the amino acids, the tetramers, that is the 4 amino acids, are also present in the peptidoglycan. I will discuss the peptidoglycan structure in the next slide in detail. And that there are two important things here, the teichoic acids and the lipoteichoic acids. These both things are present only in the gram-positive bacteria and absent in the gram-negative bacteria. This is one of the major difference, that is the teichoic acid is one of the major difference between the gram-positive bacterial cell wall and the gram-negative bacterial cell wall. Regarding the peptidoglycan, it is very thick in the gram-positive cell wall, and in gram-negative bacterial cell wall, it is very thin. And this is the structure of peptidoglycan. Here, the green colored compounds represents the NAM, and the red colored compound represents the NAG. That is, the both NAM and NAG are joined by beta 1,4-glycosidic linkage. In this bacterial cell, the beta 1,4-glycosidic linkage are cleaved by the enzyme called as the lysozyme. This enzyme can able to cleave the beta 1,4-glycosidic linkage in the bacterial cell wall. And here, the NAM and the NAM are joined with 4 amino acids and the pentaglycine crosslink. Here, in the edges of the NAM, 4 amino acids are present. They are L-alanine, D-glucamine, L-lysine, and D-alanine. These 4 are the components. And these amino acids are joined by the linkage is called as the pentaglycine linkage. And regarding the peptidoglycan, it is present only in the prokaryotes, and almost all the bacteria is made up of peptidoglycan. It is also called as a murine or mucopeptide cell wall. The two portions are present in the peptidoglycan. The one is the peptide portion. Second one is the glycan or carbohydrate sugar portion. The peptide portion is composed of amino acids collected by the peptide linkages, and the glycan portion is composed of two important components, that is the NAM and the NAG, which are joined together by beta 1,4-glycosidic linkages. And regarding this, the glycan portion, it forms the backbone of the peptidoglycan, and it composed of alternating units like NAG and NAM, which are joined by beta 1,4-glycosidic linkage. And the peptide portions is short chains. It is linked with 4 amino acids with like D-alanine, L-alanine, D-glutamic acid, and L-lysine. All these 4 amino acids are attached to the NAM residues which are present in the peptidoglycan layer. The chain called as the tetrapeptide chains are also interlinked by a peptide bridge, which is also called as the polypeptide linkage chains. So the peptidoglycan contains two main portions. One is the peptide portion, which represents the amino acids, and the second one is the glycan portion, which represents the sugar portion. And the teichoic acids. The teichoic acid is one of the very major and important component present in the gram-positive cell wall, and it is present only in the gram-positive cell wall and absent in the gram-negative cell wall. It is an acid polymer consists of carbohydrates like glucose, phosphate, and alcohol. There are two classes of teichoic acids. One is the wall teichoic acids and the second one is the lipoteichoic acids. Some of the major functions of the teichoic acids are it acts as a binding with metals, and it acts as a receptor site for some viruses, and it also maintains the cell at low pH to prevent the degradation of the cell wall by self-produced enzymes. In simple words, the teichoic acids prevents the bacterial cell from its self-destruction. This is the structure of gram-negative cell wall, and here the peptidoglycan is very thin, and it contains some excess parts like outer membrane, the space between the cell membrane and the outer membrane is called as periplasmic space, lipopolysaccharides, proteins, and porins are the important components which are present only in the gram-negative bacterial cell wall and absent in the gram-positive cell wall. Here the lipopolysaccharide contains the O polysaccharide, core polysaccharide, and lipid A. It also contains protein. This is the transport protein called as the porins, which helps to transport the materials and substances. And regarding the gram-negative cell wall, it is complex in nature because of the presence of some extra parts like lipopolysaccharides, periplasmic space, outer membrane, protein. Because of the multiple number of components, it is looking complex. But the peptidoglycan is very thin in the gram-negative bacteria, and it comprises only about 10% of the cell wall composition. The outer membrane is the major part in the gram-negative cell wall. It is thin and bilayered structure and consists of phospholipids, proteins, and lipopolysaccharides. And this outer membrane serves as a barrier to prevent the escape of various important enzymes from the periplasmic space. That is, the periplasmic space is the space between the cytoplasmic membrane and the outer membrane. Regarding the porins, the permeability of the outer membrane to nutrient is provided by a special type of proteins are called as porins. These porins form channel in which the hydrophilic substances, that is the water-loving substances, and low molecular weight substances can diffuse within these cells. And next, the periplasmic space. It prevents the entry of various chemicals that could damage the cell. That is the main role of the periplasmic space, and it is the space between the cytoplasmic membrane and the outer membrane. It also acts as a main surface antigen in the cell wall. In some cases, it is very useful. It is used as one of the important factor for the serological identification of the particular bacterial isolates. And this is the difference between the gram-positive cell wall and gram-negative cell wall. First one is the gram staining feature. The gram-positive cell wall shows violet color and gram-negative cell wall shows pink color. And the thickness is 15 to 18 nanometer for gram-positive and 7 to 8 nanometer for gram-negative. Peptidoglycan is thick and multilayered in gram-positive cell wall, thin and single-layered in gram-negative cell wall. Teichoic acids are present only in the gram-positive bacterial cell wall and absent in gram-negative cell wall. Periplasmic space, outer membrane, and porins are absent in the gram-positive cell wall and present only in the gram-negative cell wall. The concentration of the lipopolysaccharide is very low in the gram-positive cell wall and high in the gram-negative cell wall. The lipids and lipoprotein contents are also low in the gram-positive cell wall, but only in the acid-fast bacteria, the lipid content will be high and linked to the peptidoglycan layer. And in gram-negative bacterial cell wall, the contents of the lipids and lipoproteins are very high because of the presence of the outer membrane. The cell wall distribution by lysozyme was high in gram-positive cell wall, and after digestion with the lysozyme, the peptidoglycan layer of the gram-positive cell wall will be digested and it becomes the protoplast. Here, likewise in lysozyme, after digestion with the lysozyme in the gram-negative cell wall, the layer will be digested and results in the formation of spiroplast. The bacteria with protoplast and spiroplast are referred as the L forms of bacteria. Regarding the rigidity and elasticity, the gram-positive cell wall is highly rigid and less elastic, and in contrast, the gram-negative cell wall was less rigid and highly elastic. The gram-positive bacterial cell wall is highly sensitive to the penicillin, but the gram-negative cell wall is resistant to the penicillin because the penicillin is the cell wall inhibitor. And cell wall deficient bacteria. The bacteria belong to the genus Mycoplasma, have no cell wall, so it is referred as the cell wall deficient bacteria, and they are protected from osmotic swelling and bursting by the strengthened cell membrane. Here the cell membrane is very rigid and strengthened in this Mycoplasma because of the presence of sterols. This cell membrane with the sterols prevents the Mycoplasma from osmotic swelling and bursting processes. Without a rigid cell wall, they vary in shape and often forming slender branched filaments and exhibit some extreme pleomorphism, that is the pleomorphic shape. Because of the absence of the cell wall, the Mycoplasma are referred as the pleomorphic bacteria because the cell wall is the major agent which is responsible for giving the shape to the bacteria, and here the cell wall is absent. So the cell wall deficient Mycoplasma are referred as pleomorphic bacteria. And Mycoplasma species were often mistaken for virus because the size of the Mycoplasma is very small and it also lacks the cell wall. However, they do have other features of prokaryotes like presence of the prokaryotic ribosomes, that is the 70S type of ribosomes, and it also have the ability to grow in the artificial medium. But the viruses are lacking the both things. Ribosomes are absent in the viruses, and the viruses are obligatory parasites because the viruses will not be able to grow in the artificial medium. But in these both characteristics differentiated the Mycoplasma from the viruses, which was previously act as an important factor for mistaking the viruses along with the Mycoplasma species. Next one is the L forms. Some bacteria that ordinarily have a cell wall can lose it during their life cycle. These wall deficient forms are referred as the L forms or L phase variants. And here the L stands for the Lister Institute where they were discovered. The L form arise naturally from the mutation in the cell wall forming genes, and artificially the L forms are arised with the help of the chemicals like lysozymes, the enzyme lysozyme or antibiotic penicillin, which can able to disturb the cell wall of the L forms. That is the L form protoplast and the spiroplast. When the gram-positive cell is exposed to either of the two chemicals, that is the lysozyme or antibiotic, it will lose the cell wall completely and becomes a protoplast. Likewise, if the gram-negative cell is exposed to the lysozyme or antibiotic, likewise it also loses its cell wall completely and becomes the spiroplast. This is the difference between the protoplast and spiroplast. Disruption of cell wall by the lysozyme or antibiotic in gram-positive cell is protoplast, and the disruption of cell wall by the lysozyme or an antibiotic penicillin will result in the formation of the spiroplast. This image is showing the formation of the protoplast and spheroplast. Here the gram-positive bacteria, it lost its peptidoglycan due to the mutation or some chemical treatment, and it results in the formation of the protoplast. And here the cell wall is present, here the cell wall is absent. Likewise, the action of chemical treatment or mutation in the gram-negative bacteria results in the formation of the spheroplast. This is the difference between the protoplast and spheroplast. Gram-positive bacteria, protoplast, and gram-negative bacteria, spheroplast. And the protoplast and spheroplast, the burst in pure water or very diluted water, because this kind of entry of the excess amount of water or salt or sugar solution will result in the enlargement of the cell, and as a result of the excess enlargement, the cell becomes ruptured, and this process is called as osmotic lysis. The both protoplast and the spheroplast are prone to the osmotic lysis. And regarding the treatment with antibiotics, the antibiotics affect the cell wall synthesis, will kill most of the bacteria in some infections, but leaves a few alive cells in the form of L forms. When the treatment is discontinued, what will happen means the L forms can again revert to the walled forms and regrow as an infected population, and it results in causing the reinfection in the same individual. That's all about the bacterial cell wall. Thank you for your listening. Thank you for your support and patience. Thank you.